Hi there. My name is Shay, my wife's name is Kayleigh, and together we are tackling some big debt in the Big Apple. Hello and happy Friday. I am coming to you a little bit late because I have been running around making breakfast, making coffee, making plans. I have finished an entire pot of coffee. It is now 11 a.m., but that's okay because the budget waits for no one, and boy oh boy do we have a lot of budgeting to do. Some very exciting context. Kayleigh recently got a promotion that came with a pretty hefty raise, so this is going to be our first paycheck at the new rate that she will be getting paid. It is our first double paycheck of the month. Some weeks only she gets paid, some weeks she and I get paid because she just runs on a different pay cycle than I do for our different jobs. So we've got that going on. We've got a little bit of extra cash because I've got paychecks coming in from my acting job right now, so we've got a lot of stuff to sort out. It is finally fall here in New York City. It's been absolutely gorgeous. The weather has finally turned, and it's nice and chilly. I can wear my long sleeves again, and really, that has just put me in an absolutely excellent mood. So, Kayleigh is obviously not here. She is on a cruise with her sister and her sister's best friend, and they are having so much fun over there. And while she is over there, I am over here holding the fort down and doing the budget with y'all. This last week was pretty quiet, except for a couple of fun things. We took Kayleigh's brother, Kenny, frequent visitor of the channel. We took him out for birthday drinks and birthday Korean barbecue, because those are his two favorite things in the whole world. And then I had my regular show schedule. I don't know why I'm looking at this wall calendar that we have up here, because it still says all of the dates for September. So it's really of no use to me whatsoever, but I keep on referencing it to see what happened last week and what's going to happen this week, and there's nothing up there that's useful whatsoever. But that's okay. This coming week, I've got a dance class that I want to go to this afternoon. I am right now putting together plans with some friends to go do a cheeky little dance moment at a club after the show tonight. I've got another 4-show weekend. So I've got a show tonight, 2 shows tomorrow on Saturday, and 1 matinee on Sunday. So that's going to happen. And other than that, I'm kind of just holding down the fort and resting in between show weekends and doing everything I need to do for my day job and keeping the house running while Kayleigh is away. So I think that's everything. Everything that happened last week, everything that happened this week. Oh, one other big thing that happened is that Kayleigh decided, and this is something that she's wanted to do for a very long time, but she kind of decided with the pay raise that she got that now would be the perfect time to become season ticket holders for a New York City sports team. So, as of yesterday or the day before or something like that, we are now officially season tickets holders for the Mets. And there is going to be some pretty hefty overspending that you will see associated with that. But a lot of the spending decisions that we made this week kind of happened with this paycheck at this new rate that's coming in mind, which is obviously not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to budget and then spend the money. But we knew what the number was going to be, and we made some choices kind of in anticipation of this new paycheck at this new rate. So it's going to be a little more spending tracky than it is budgeting this week. But by gosh, we're going to do it anyway. So let's get right into it. This is the budget, and the program that you see around me that we are using to budget is called YNAB, which is short for You Need a Budget. And what we are going to start with is this very hefty overspending category. We overspent on so many things. We overspent on Kenny's birthday. Obviously, we overspent on the Mets season tickets because that was a decision that, to be fair, had to get made somewhat quickly so that we could get the rate and the seats that were being offered to us then in the moment. So that was something that happened. Kayleigh had a very long week at work, so she did some food ordering, and I did a little bit of food ordering too, let's be real. We went to go buy a pair of shorts for Kayleigh because she needed her first pair of shorts went kaput on her, and so she only had one pair, the one that I made for her. And so she needed kind of another pair of shorts, just so she wasn't wearing like the same pair of shorts every single day on this cruise that's taking off from Florida, where it's very, very warm. So we got her a pair of shorts, and then while we were there was an excellent deal on a leather bomber jacket that fit her really nicely, which doesn't happen very often. Like, most men's jackets don't fit her quite right in a lot of ways. So when we found a good bomber jacket that she really enjoyed wearing and looked really good on her, it was also a good price, but it was obviously more than we budgeted for. So there's some overspending with that. All sorts of stuff, but we are going to go ahead and just get right to covering it. So, start with this. Let's see what we've got. Oh, goodness. I always do this where I make myself just a little bit too big. Okay. There's not a lot that we can pull from. So I think actually what we may do is just cover everything from the paycheck. We had a bit of a tight week last week as well. So there's not a lot of leftover cash, and the one place where there is leftover cash in transportation, I am just going to leave it there because I will have to fund it immediately again. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover it all from our paychecks. And it is a lot, but I'm going to go through and just make sure that all of this overspending is taken care of. It's not going to leave me a lot of wiggle room. Kayleigh was so sweet. She texted me today. She was like, I'm sorry I spent, or actually, I'm sorry we already spent our first fun paycheck. And while that is true, it is A-okay. Sometimes this is just what happens. I think maybe we got a little bit overexcited about Kayleigh's new rate, which is natural, for sure. Okay. That is everything. She's got that over with, got it out of the way, and I feel better now that we're working with numbers that are real as opposed to numbers of things that have technically been pre-spent. So now what we are going to do is we are going to skip ahead to November. And we are going to cover rent. With our new rate, or Kayleigh's new paycheck rate, what we are going to do is, because this is a double paycheck week, we are going to put $850 toward rent. $850. Boop. And we are going to keep it pushing. That leaves us with about $500 left to cover weekly expenses. So let's flip back over to October and take a look at our weekly view. So first things first is groceries. I have a lot of leftover groceries from this week. Kayleigh left kind of midweek for Florida to go on this cruise. So I actually have quite a few meals left, quite a few dinners left. I am going to have to go grocery shopping at some point, but it's definitely not going to be a full week of groceries. So I am going to add $50. And I think that should be plenty for me. Kayleigh's not going to get back until next Friday. So it's going to be a whole solo week of groceries for Shay. And I think that $50, considering everything that I already have kicking around in the fridge, will be plenty to cover anything I may need throughout the week. So that's good. Transportation. We've got $22.52 still left over from last week, and this is including all of the pending transactions from the MTA. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 34 is like the max amount that any one person can pay weekly on the subway. After that, if you continue tapping to pay, like it'll just be capped, and then you won't be charged for anything above $34 in the span of the week. So I am going to take 34 minus 22.52, and that is $11.48. So that is how much I'm going to put in transportation. I don't think I'm going to be going anywhere else this week. I don't have any plans to do that, so it's just going to be me, myself, and I on the subway, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth from Queens to Manhattan all day, every day. Okay, excellent. Booze. I'm going to pop $20 in here, just in case I want to go out with friends over the week. I am going to go to the club tonight, but I think I would like to fund that, do a little fun money moment, perhaps, instead of saying that's booze. I don't know why that feels like it makes more sense in my head. But this is like for if I have any friends over and I want to get a bottle of wine or something like that. That's different. Okay. I think $48 needed. There are a bunch of household consumable things that I need to get. And it's one of those things where I have a running list, but it exists in my head, so I keep on forgetting and remembering things on this running list in my head. But it is kind of a lot of stuff. So I think what I may do is just fund the rest of this. No reason not to. So household consumables is fully funded for the month. It is now the 10th, so hopefully that'll last us for the next 20 days, but there's a lot of like refills of things that we need, like we just ran out of toothpaste and we just ran out of our facial moisturizer, and I'm about to run out of shampoo and stuff like that, so hopefully that will be enough to cover all of the other stuff that we need throughout the month, but I just want to make sure that I'm not going to be overspending on anything coming up. Laundry, I did put $10 on the laundry card. This week I got paid in cash, so I just sneakily took $10 from my acting job, the cash that I got paid for my acting job, and put it on the laundry card just so I didn't have to put cash into the bank and then take cash out of the bank. So Kayleigh and I have decided that because there was so much overspending this past week that we're just calling everything a wash. And we are going to fund what needs to be funded and try our best to get back on setting all of my extra cash that I get from acting aside for our side hustle funds where they normally go. We're going to do that next week. We made a lot of decisions this week that just, it was easier to kind of just call it all a wash. So that's kind of what we did. Normally this would not be our methodology, but this week it is. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add 20 here, which is great. Pretty house. I might want to get a candle, so I'm going to add $5 for a candle in case I want one. And then every week we set aside $10 for Kayleigh's cousin/nephew Wyatt. We are just saving up to get him something nice on his 18th birthday. And $10 a week is absolutely doable. We save his age in dollars every week. So he's 10, so he gets $10 a week. And when he turns 11, he'll get $11 a week, and so on and so forth. That is everything in the weekly view, which is great. So we're good. Okay. Bills. So we are just going to go through and fund what is coming up immediately. Oh, Con Ed. Oh, bother. They just raised their rates for Con Ed, so this category is definitely going to need some adjusting at the end of the year, but right now I'm just going back to see exactly what our balance was for this month. I do need to make sure that we fund. So the balance for Con Ed is $215.64. So that is now funded, and that is how much is going to come out on our next auto pay cycle. So that is all funded. But nothing else is going to come out before I budget again next week, so I think I'm going to leave bills alone for now. I might circle back around to it if I can. I would like to. Okay. Definitely going to need another box of cat litter, so we'll add $15 for that. I think I'm still good on cat food. Hold, please. Okay. Alright, okay. Normally I buy 2 bags of cat food at a time, but since our funds are a little bit tight this week, I'm going to fund 1 bag worth. Yes. And I'm just going to go buy 1 bag of cat food this week so that we can distribute the rest of our funds a little bit more efficiently. So that's good. Everything else looks good. That's excellent. All of the cat's immediate needs have been tended to. Let's go through life. Kayleigh and I are not in the same place, so we will not be going on any date nights, very sadly, but that's okay. Groceries is all done. Kayleigh already went to Costco once this month. We do need more vitamins, but not now. So I think I might leave that be. Kayleigh just got her hair cut, so that's all good. Obviously, we fully spent on clothing for the month, and I am not in need of anything new at the most, so that's fine. I don't need anything new in terms of sewing supplies, so we're good on that front. Transportation we covered. Booze we covered. Ordering food. I'm going to put my usual $20 that I'm not planning on spending, but kind of always manages to get spent anyway. Family entertainment. I don't think I'll need anything. I've been making my coffee here every morning, and I think I will continue to do that. So we're good to go on morning coffee. Fun money. This is where I was planning on setting aside some funds for the club tonight. I'm not planning on spending a ton of money, and there's no cover for the club, but yeah. And then the other thing that I definitely need to take care of now is that there's a dance class that I want to go take. And so let's just make sure there's nothing else that's like really needs to get taken care of right now. Household consumables were good. Laundry were good. Household fixtures, we don't need anything. We added a furniture category that will not be getting funded this week, but that's fine. We will definitely fund it next week or the week after. Shay, career. Okay. Balls. There is one thing that I forgot about, and that is this guy right here. Kayleigh is currently on this trip, and as you can see, it is still not fully funded, and it looks as though Kayleigh is probably going to be spending more than what she originally intended to set aside on this trip, so obviously more than $51 is needed. Okay, where can we pull from? I think I'm just going to pull a little bit from all of the different categories. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take half of what I had set aside for booze, put it back in, ready to assign. And I'm going to do the same thing for ordering food, take half of what I had set aside in ordering food, move that back into ready to assign. I don't think that I'm going to hit the max, so I think I can probably take 14 of this, move it back to ready to assign. Household consumables, I think I can make sure that I don't spend all 50 of those dollars. So I'm going to go ahead and take $28, move that back to ready to assign. I'm just trying to shave things off where I can. I also don't think I need $20, so I can take 10 out. Move that back to ready to assign. I don't need anything for Pretty House. desperately. So I'll move that back to ready to assign. Let's just make this a nice even number that we can add to Kayleigh's cruise trip. Kayleigh can sometimes do this math off the top of her head. I cannot. So 130 minus 126.36 is... So I'm going to take the last $3.64 from here. Move that as well to ready to assign. So now we've got $130 that we can put toward the rest of Kayleigh's trip, which is wonderful. Hopefully that will be a good amount. She's on a cruise, so everything is mostly paid for, but she is going to do a couple of days of Disney after that. So that is what I am trying to fund. And once again, most of her expenses for the Disney portion of the trip are already paid for, but I do want to make sure she's got some spending money for, you know, food and drinks and a little bit of merch and whatever else she may want to do with that. So now she's got that as well, which is great. Okay. We may have to move around some other things to make sure that this trip is fully covered, but I think for now, we're in a good spot. I have a little bit of money still kicking around in my separate account for my fun money, and I should be fine to do whatever activities I want to do over the weekend with that. So I think we're good on all fronts. Everything that really needs to be taken care of did, in fact, get taken care of, and I feel like we made some good choices. With that, let us now move over to our entirely separate budget that we've got for student loans. This budget is called, "Oh no, my future, it's broken." And this is what we've got going on. So, as you can see, we took the cash that we had, first paycheck of the month, and we covered all of the interest. Essentially, we covered like everything that would result in accrued interest on all of these student loans except this guy. So we are just going to add the rest of what we need. There we go. Boop. So that is all funded now, and then the rest of this portion of Kayleigh's paycheck that gets set aside automatically is going to go to student loan number 12. So that is $255.02. And there we go. That is Kayleigh's little portion of her paycheck that she gets automatically set aside every week, all set up and put in the appropriate places. So a very interesting week. We had some lavish spending and also some lavish extra earning, which is great. It all balanced out in the end. I will also be budgeting solo next week. I think we have a video coming up on Tuesday about our spending for the month. Maybe? Did that video already come out? I don't remember. I don't remember when everything is scheduled for. We might have a video on Tuesday. You will not get a vlog from us this Sunday because we are doing a super double mega vlog when Kayleigh gets back from her vacation next week. But every Friday, no matter what, whether it's just me, whether it's just Kayleigh, whether it's the two of us, we always sit down and do our budget together here on this channel. So keep an eye out for more of our content if you enjoy it, and I will see you when I see you.